Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hello. Does anyone else who lives in the Midwest who's a person of color ever feel so detached from the Midwest narrative? Or at least just like the discourse online about the Midwest, because every reference to being here is so white coded, which like, I don't know, I guess there do be a lot of white people. Every time I see like someone talk about the Midwest and they say some like really weird stuff, I'm like, dude, yeah, I'm from the Midwest, but I'm not that kind of Midwest. Do you know what I mean? For example, have you ever seen a Midwest food TikTok? No? Well, you're lucky.
On our salad bar today, marinated salad, tuna salad, broccoli salad, Dijon ham, your pears, mayonnaise, and cheese.
Now, I am a Missourian, so I will be talking specifically about Missouri, but just know I don't like the Midwest in general. Well, I don't know. Chicago's fun sometimes. That's where like all the concerts are, but that's about it. If you wanted to come to my city, you could experience it fully within a week. Easily. There's not much to do here, but like eat, drink, eat, and like talk about the Chiefs, and that's it. So imagine someone like me who's, you know, still on the younger side, but I've been here for 21 years and I've done everything. There's people out here that have a body of water that they can go to and relax around that's not a lake or a pond. Like people have sand. And like real like good sand, not like a random like sand patch in like an outdoor volleyball court. No. Like they have real, they're real. The Midwest is just not real. Honestly, I think it's the epitome of like living in an echo chamber. Like for example, if you've ever seen any like political videos about people like going out on the streets and like interviewing like old white people on the streets, like anywhere in the Midwest, they always say the most unhinged, dumb thing you ever heard in your life, and you're like, I don't know how you have came to this conclusion. It's definitely been on your own, because if someone else heard you say this before right now, that I would hope that they would intervene. But it's just like, no one here is real. No one here is real. Most people are probably evil. You can probably assume it'll be the most country, mentally challenged people you will ever meet here. And honestly, I'm here too, so I don't know what that says about me. Kansas City is like a hub for those millennial burger spots, but I feel like they also do it with barbecue instead of burgers. Do you know what I mean? Like if you live here, there are so many barbecue spots. Newsflash, we're known for barbecue, so like obviously, yeah. There's two kinds of barbecue places. There's like the more like backyard, like kind of laid back barbecue joints, and then there's like restaurants, like the proper restaurants with the truffle fries and the expensive burnt end sandwich. Will only be served by a white millennial. There is no other coworkers. That's probably like a requirement for the job. Like you have to have a quiff and pale skin and like a little bit of stubble on your face and look like you play guitar. Like I feel like that's the vibe for any barbecue place. Or you're on the complete other spectrum and you're like a middle-aged man or woman. You know, like you're an auntie or an uncle. But you know what, honestly, I can't even hate on them because the food be good. I'm gonna order the expensive burnt-end sandwich, the truffle fries, the like special sauce, which like, okay. Another thing I noticed is that like places in the Midwest desperately want to be cool, which I guess like every state kind of wants to be cool because, you know, tourism and money and yeah. Like in my city right now, they built a Ferris wheel, right? The view of the Ferris wheel is just like the highway. It's nothing cool, it's nothing nice, but you know a place that has a Ferris wheel and like a beautiful view? Chicago. An actual cool place in the Midwest. You know why? Because they have Lake Michigan. They have rich people with boats out there that like show them off and shit, so it's like cool. It's not cool to like overlook the highway and then like all the homelessness in Kansas City and be like, I love this overpriced Ferris wheel ride. I genuinely think, because I've been on the Ferris wheel, not to toot my own horn, but I've been on the Chicago Ferris wheel, not the Kansas City one, and it was so nice. I think it was cheaper than how much I would pay here in Kansas City being a resident. It's just like, why do we have a Ferris wheel? I don't know, maybe there is a logical reason to it and I'm just like out of touch and don't know, but everybody else, I feel like everybody else feels the same way. Except for maybe like rich people who made the decision. I feel like across the board, no matter where you live in the Midwest, the one thing that a white person will say about the inner city that's their favorite thing is always gonna be the culture. I love the culture here. It's just so nice here. Like everyone's so cultured. Like there's just so much culture. It's because you're with the coloreds. And low key, when I was thinking about like good things about the Midwest, that is exactly what I was gonna say too. But like, you know, there's some cool events, there's some nice spots, but it's so few and far between. Like, majority of the Midwest is just boring. It's just boring. But honestly, I hate saying that the Midwest is boring because then something crazy happens, which already happened this month. Just the other week, there was like a white supremacist parade. I don't even know what you would call it. I don't know what they were like celebrating or protesting for or advocating. I don't know. I guess whiteness. I guess that's what white supremacists do. The crazy thing is they're all hiding their face. Like, they're not brave enough to actually like show themselves, but they're brave enough to just like be racist in public. So this is the region that I live in. The only semi-cool thing I've ever experienced about being from the Midwest is when you watch like an old Western movie and they mention like Kansas City, and I'm like, oh, I live there, that's cool. But that's about it. That's the only time I've ever been like, I'm from Kansas City, like prideful. And even then, it's like they're in Kansas City because they're gonna kill somebody in the movie. And it's like, oh. But I guess that's where the origin of Kill a City started. I have to stop using this mic, I think, because the hair is like really bothering me. And I want to rip my face off right now. But I'm trying to be calm and make this video, but it's really, really agitating me. I looked at a lot of videos about people talking about the Midwest before I made this one, and everyone is just complaining. Everyone just complains, and I feel like that should tell you something. Like, the Midwest is just not good. Like, when I realized I don't have to live in like a super overpopulated city with like a lot of tourists and like all those other problems that come with like New York or California, you know, I do feel a little bit grateful, but I'm also like, you know, you could give us something, you know, you could give us a little something to work with, you know? No? Okay. The further out you go from the city, the more overalls and Confederate flags you will see. I was very shocked because I lived in such a bubble. I still do live in such a bubble with like people of color making up majority of my community. So when I went to a place like Branson or Sedalia or like any part of Kansas, I was like, oh. And like, I'm so grateful that I grew up in a more diverse community, because the black girls specifically who grew up in a very like predominantly white area, I am praying for you. I am praying for you so much, because I can't imagine the mental repercussions that you must be experiencing. I'm really curious for if there's gonna be any like Midwest defenders in the comments. I will admit, like, not every single waking moment that I'm here is terrible, but like a lot of them are, and I'm resilient. Like, I can make it through anything. All right, I've lived here my whole life. I'm still alive, you know. It can't be that bad, but let's hope the white supremacists don't get to me. Okay, that's it.